guys, Nick here, and welcome back to another Flash episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Flash, titled King Shark. And first of all, I have to say, holy shit, that ending. Finally finding out that Zoom is in fact Hunter Zolomon. And I'll get to the episode in a sec, but I have to talk about the fact that this entire season, we've been almost led to believe that Zoom is a character or a doppelganger for someone else that we're already familiar with in the show. Because the show has changed aspects of comic book characters in the past. They changed the identity of Dr. Light. They changed some other things with other characters. And with Zoom, I thought they were going to do their own thing. But so far, and it's been confirmed by the producers that this version of Zoom is Hunter Zolomon. So it is like it is in the comics. Obviously, he's not wearing just a copy of the Reverse Flash suit like he does in the comics. But finally knowing that, Jay's doppelganger from Earth 1 is Zoom, I'm so just curious about to see how that's going to play out for the rest of the season and how Jay is tied in with that, because the producer said in a statement after tonight's episode that there's definitely some stuff going on that Jay said that was a little misleading. There's some truth to what Jay did say, but I really want to know what the hell is going on. And I want to say, there's so much to talk about right now. I still want to know who the hell that guy in the mask was in Zoom's prison. Is Jay really dead, or is he just knocked out? I really want to see how that plays out. But yeah, I think, oh my god, I'm just at a whirlwind of nerd, I feel like I'm in nerd heaven right now. So to get into the episode itself, King Shark, this is an episode that I was pretty excited for, especially seeing King Shark back. And first of all, I have to say, I've mentioned this a couple times in my reviews in the past, but this show's production, for what it does on a TV budget, granted, it's not like movie quality CGI, but seeing how awesome King Shark looks, and all the scenes that had King Shark in that last scene with King Shark and Barry fighting him, creating that whirlwind in the water, and seeing the effects of King Shark swimming, jumping out of the water, and that slow motion shot. The visual effects team of The Flash, I think they need to get a whole lot of credit, because King Shark looks fucking awesome in this episode. Just like he did, like him and Grodd. And again, for a show that originally set in a universe where there's no powers, starting out with Arrow, and I never would have thought that we would have gotten Gorilla Grodd, King Shark, these CGI heavy and frankly ridiculous characters from the comics. I didn't think would actually play into the show, but now that they are and they actually look fantastic, I gotta give a lot of props to the visual effects department on Flash. Good job, guys. Again, getting back to the episode itself, one of the things I really enjoyed about this episode was seeing Wally West and him trying to connect with Barry on some level, and Barry being distant because of what happened on Earth 2 and how he felt like, because Well will not talk about anything, which he ended up talking about anyway. But seeing how Wally is trying to reach out to Barry and he wants Barry to help him out. He wants to at least have some sort of bond with Barry, and Barry's being distant with him. And I like seeing that, because Wally is a character so far, he's been kind of a little more on the stern side. They've had him out to be kind of a dick. But they do show that there is more to Wally, that he is a little more kind-hearted than we've been led to believe. And that there is an emotional side of him, and he's still trying to connect and get to know his family. And he's trying to get to know Barry, but Barry, because what happened, he's being so distant and detached. And seeing, when Wally reacts the way he does, I don't blame him. Barry was being a dick to him in this episode, and Wally wasn't even doing anything. All Barry was doing was criticizing Wally's work, and that's another thing, too. Wally in this episode, they really make him out to be, he's a really smart guy. In the comics, I don't even know if he was that smart. I mean, we all know, Wally West is a cool and smart guy, but we don't know he was, that smart. And seeing how, he wants to do the stuff and make this biodiesel fuel for this car or whatever, showing Wally West there's a lot more to him that we didn't even know. So seeing that side of him makes me a little more ecstatic as a fan. I'm definitely seeing Diggle and Lila coming into the show from Arrow, and seeing how Argus over there kind of fell apart a bit when they killed off Amanda Waller on that show. And seeing Lila step up as the director of Argus now, and seeing that she doesn't want to be the shady organization that Argus was under Amanda Waller. And I did like seeing a lot more of Diggle in this episode, because Diggle, like, he's just that one supporting character in Arrow, not even like the one main character in Arrow, that whenever he comes around, like whenever he has something to say, you know it's gonna be like emotionally heavy, and because he cares about the people in his life, he cares about his friends, and when he has that scene with Barry in the end, telling him just like use this as a learning experience, just kind of like grow with it, and like I don't remember the exact lines off the top of my head, but seeing how even though he's not that close with Barry, that he does care about Barry, he doesn't want Barry to be dwelling on what happened on Earth 2. He just wants him to be able to move forward and not carry so much weight of the world on his shoulders, like what Diggle says, like how Oliver does. So I like seeing that dynamic in the show. And I did like seeing that scene in the episode when Barry finally did talk about what was going on Earth 2 and what happened, about seeing Joe's doppelganger be killed and how Barry feels like it is his fault, because it is his fault, but seeing how that really affected him, because even though it felt to him like it didn't feel real, or it felt real even though it wasn't his Joe, it felt the same because he got emotionally attached. And seeing Joe and Iris's reaction, it's like, that was an emotionally powerful scene. And this show, it handles those particular scenes really well. I am getting a little tired of Barry being so down on himself like every other episode and feeling like, oh, it's always my fault. It's like, okay, do we get it? Like, everything's your fault, just deal with it. That's life. But in this particular episode, I kind of understood where he was coming from. I did like seeing Joe and Iris be there for him, and then Joe in the end, like, having that scene with Wally, talking about how, you know, like, Barry came into our lives and we gave him all the love that we could, but he's not perfect, you know, because Joe and Iris do talk highly of Barry, and that's the idea that Wally had in his head, like, oh, Barry's perfect, I can't make any mistakes. And that's another thing that Wally was frustrated with. But seeing that scene between Wally and Joe, I like seeing that, you know. What else? And I did like seeing, as much as I don't like how Caitlin is dwelling more on Jay's death than she did with Ronnie's. I find that a little hypocritical. It's like, you're married to one guy and you barely started liking another guy and you're more mad about that, but whatever. Just seeing Caitlin in this episode, I didn't really care for how she was acting particularly, but I did enjoy seeing Cisco trying to be there for her and trying to just not have her be as mad, because obviously knowing like he saw Killer Frost, he doesn't want to see that side of Caitlin come out, even though she's not a metahuman as far as we know. And then by the end, we see her kind of come to terms with what's going on, and having Barry set up that memorial for Jay. And then seeing Caitlin kind of mess with Cisco in the end when she was like almost pretending to be like Killer Frost. I thought that was kind of funny. What else is there? And I did like in the end when Barry was going on that scene, like showing Jay's memorial with his helmet, him owning up to what he did because of the fact that he went back in time to try to save his mom. Like, that created everything that happened with Earth 2, that created the breaches and everything with Zoom, and because it is his fault. I mean, he made the selfish choice of like trying to go back in time to save his mom and potentially corrupt the timeline, and that also created new problems with another world itself. And seeing Barry finally own up to the mistakes he's making, because that's the thing with Flash and Arrow, that like sometimes the heroes, like, they make them so perfect that like anytime they make a mistake, they're like, oh, it's me, like I always, like I can't, I'm so awesome, but I can't make any mistakes, and the one time I do, it's like, oh, like, I hate seeing that side of these characters, but finally seeing Barry own up to what he did, I really enjoyed seeing that. And there's another minor nitpick thing that I had wrong with this episode, when they're going after King Shark towards the end, and had the bait out there of Barry. I guess they're like giving off like Barry's electricity or whatever, and they had like the bait out in the water, but it's like Barry was like literally right there, right by the bait, and I feel like King Shark would have sensed both of them. I don't know. I just thought that was a nitpick thing. I was like, wait, why would shouldn't Barry be like farther away? Like, I don't know. That was the only minor gripe, other than the fact, you know, seeing Barry like complain about all that stuff. But other than that, like, I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm so mad because like now we're not gonna get a new episode for like another month, and like I hate these breaks with these shows. I know it's something I have to deal with every year, but it's like a whole month of no new episodes. I mean, it's gonna fly by like the holidays did, but at the same time, it's like it's just a pain, and I hate dealing with it. So with that being said, that's gonna be it for me. If you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I review all these superhero shows every week when they're on. I review Supergirl on Mondays, Flash on Tuesdays, Arrow on Wednesdays, Legends of Tomorrow on Thursdays, and I have a bunch of other videos and stuff in between if you guys want to check that out on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. What did you guys think of the episode? Did you guys like it? Did you guys have problems with it? Let me know in the comment section below. So yeah, that's going to be it for me. So until next time, guys, have a good one.